Hi, this is Carol Graham with Praying for Miracles with Carol. Today I'm going to paint a word picture for you. And it's a story out of the Bible that the details are very, very important. So I'm going to share these details and I want you to visualize this as it plays out in the Bible. The verse is Romans 2:4, which says, "The goodness of God leads you to repentance." Now I'm going to explain that. And I'm going to explain it with the story about Peter the fisherman. He was famished, fatigued. He and his crew had worked all night and they got empty nets. They didn't get any fish. And the sun was rising and they were discouraged. So as they began washing their nets, large numbers of people began to throng the waterfront. And then Peter realized why the people were there. Everyone was there wanting to see this very special man. Before Peter knew it, this man headed in his direction and got into his boat. He then gestured to Peter and his crew to grab their nets and go back into the boat. What is going on? Can you just see? Peter was wondering, what in the world is this man doing? So the man smiled warmly at Peter and asked him to push the boat out some distance from the shore. By this time, the waterfront was completely blanketed with a crowd, a huge crowd who had come to hear this man speak. So as Peter asked them to push the boat out, the crew responded to their captain, and they did that, and watched the man who sat down on the edge of the boat and began to teach the multitudes gathered on the shore. Now, when he was done speaking, he turned to Peter and he asked Peter to launch the boat deeper into the water with their nets. Now, Peter was quite taken aback by this, and he explained to the man that they had been fishing all night and they came up empty. Nevertheless, he was willing to comply with this man's wishes. But he thought to himself, what does a carpenter from Nazareth know about fishing? That was his humanness. He was wondering. Peter had been fishing all night, and as a youth, he knew the importance of timing in fishing. And he knew that the best was not late in the morning, which is what it was now. So as the boat reached the deep waters, Peter just went through the motions and he cast one net into the water just to please this man. One net, he thought, was plenty to prove his point that fishing at this time of day was totally useless. But there was a reason that he felt he should comply with this man's wishes. There was something about him. There was a quiet authority. There was a friendliness. There was something about him that was peaceful and enduring, and he wanted to see what this stranger was going to do and say. There was something in his voice, something in his nature. Now, what happened next absolutely stunned Peter. It was as if the net suddenly became a fish magnet. Massive schools of fish rushed into the net from every direction. straining the net's capacity until it began to tear, as Peter and his men tried to haul up this unprecedented load of fish. They were amazed. They were frantic. They were yelling to their friends in another boat to come help them. Now, 2 more boats were lined up side by side, and both crews were hauling fish into their boats. The men worked furiously, loading the nets onto the boats filled with fish. And both boats were so full, they were unable to even speak. They were completely blown away. And Simon Peter then knelt. This is so crucial to understand in this story. Simon Peter then knelt before Jesus, and this is what he said in Luke 5:8. "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." He was repenting of his doubt. Now, the key that I want you to see here is what came first, the blessing or the repentance? Here's the drum roll. Under the new covenant of grace, God blesses us first. And his blessings, his favor, his overflowing love leads us to repentance. So when people tell you that the message of grace actually drives you away from God, it's just the opposite. The message of grace drives you towards God. When you understand his favor and his blessings, you don't want to sin. You don't want to waver in your faith. It drives you towards him, not away from him. So the verse again today, it is the goodness of God that leads us to repentance. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and also go to my website, prayingmiracles.com, and enjoy the stories there, the PDFs that you can download and print out to help you in any area of your life regarding prayer for healing or salvation for your family or whatever. And I look forward to seeing you next time.